Soft moonlight spilled through the nursery window, bathing the crib in a serene glow. The house was hushed, broken only by the faint hum of a nightlight and the distant ticking of a clock. 6-month-old Ethan Parker lay utterly still in his crib, his chest rising only with each shallow breath. For months, his once vibrant limbs had refused to obey, frozen in a silence that had shattered his parents' hearts and clouded every night with fear. The hush of the room felt heavy, as though it held its breath, waiting for a miracle that seemed ever more distant with each tick of the clock. What would it take to break this stillness? In the adjacent bedroom, Emma and James lay awake, their minds spinning through every test result, every scan, all the specialists' theories, yet none offered. Emma traced the edge of her wedding band, her eyes wet with unspent tears, while James pressed a hand to his forehead, drained from months of fruitless searching for answers. Doctors called it a mysterious neuromuscular condition. Tests found nothing. No matter how many scans they ordered, no matter how many times they returned to the hospital, Ethan remained motionless. Until tonight. But could tonight finally be different? Down the hallway, a soft padding sound reverberated on the wooden floor. Milo, the family's retired search and rescue German shepherd, padded into the nursery like a silent sentinel. Once a decorated veteran in disaster zones, tracking lost hikers, pulling survivors from rubble, Milo now spent his days gently nudging Ethan's tiny hand and his nights standing vigil by the crib. His eyes, wise with experience, never left the motionless baby. Emma often watched him from the doorway, marveling at how he seemed to understand Ethan's pain, offering his warmth and presence when no one else could. His loyalty was unwavering, his instincts unshaken by retirement. Could this brave dog sense something no one else could? As the clock hands crept past midnight, Milo's calm posture shifted. He sniffed the air, his ears perking, whiskers quivering with tension. A soft whine escaped him, low and urgent. He paced, then let out a sharp, echoing bark that cut through the night. His gaze snapped to Ethan, eyes wide and focused, as if the baby were sending a secret signal straight to Milo's heart. The dog's deep whine rose to a cry, and he bolted toward the door, pausing only to glance back at Emma and James in silent plea. Something was happening, Milo insisted. Was this the moment that could change everything? Emma sprang from the bed, her breath catching in her throat. She followed Milo's lead, heart hammering against her ribs. In the nursery, moonlight revealed a sight she had not dared to believe. Ethan's tiny fingers twitched, as gentle and fleeting as a whisper to yellow. Emma froze, disbelief rippling through her. She exhaled slowly, as if afraid to break the spell, then reached toward the crib. The faint movement came again, more determined this time, Ethan's hand curling in a delicate arc, a flourish of returning life. Emma's lips trembled as she called, James, come, could this be real? James burst into the room, eyes wide. He bent over Ethan's crib, breathless as he watched the miracle unfold. The infant's fingers flexed, then straightened, and at the same instant, his arm gave a tiny, hopeful twitch. Tears blurred Emma's vision. Oh my God, she whispered, voice thick with awe. He's moving. Milo stood beside them, tail wagging with cautious excitement, nose brushing Ethan's hand in encouragement. It was the first time in 6 long months that Ethan had defied motionless silence. What force had awakened his limbs? James knelt, voice quavering. Ethan, buddy, can you hear me? The baby's legs answered with a soft kick, timid at first, then firmer. Emma gasped, hand flying to her mouth. Disbelief melted into joy as Ethan's little kicks continued, each one annulling months of hopeless wait. Milo barked once, a triumphant, gentle sound, and pressed his warm muzzle against Ethan's cheek, as if to say, keep going, little one. Fun. Could this be the beginning of a full recovery? Within minutes, Emma dialed the hospital. James grabbed Ethan, cradling him close, while Emma coaxed Milo into the back seat. In the car's dim cabin, Ethan's fingers danced again, brushing against Milo's fur. Milo leaned in protectively, his body a shield against every bump in the road. Emma glanced at James, her eyes shining through unshed tears. He knew, she murmured. He always knew. What miracle would the doctors see? They burst into the emergency room, Emma's arms wrapped around Ethan, Milo trotting steadfastly at her side. A nurse looked up, startled by the urgency. What's wrong? She asked, guiding them to a private room. Emma's voice trembled as she explained, He started moving after 6 months. Dr. Reynolds appeared, brows knit in concern, when he saw Ethan's tiny fist flex and fingers uncurl. His skepticism faltered, replaced by stunned wonder. He ran reflex tests. Each tap on Ethan's knee drew an answering kick. He studied scans and blood work, unchanged from weeks before. How could science account for this? Dr. Patel soon joined, poring over Ethan's file. "I've never seen anything like this," she admitted, handing over sheet after sheet of identical results. And no nerve regeneration, no anomalies, no medical intervention should cause movement. Emma exchanged a glance with James, then pointed to Milo waiting dutifully outside the door. With gentle reverence, James described how Milo had paced all night, barking and insisting they look at Ethan. "He's a trained search and rescue dog," James said. "If anyone can sense a life stirring, it's Milo." The doctors exchanged intrigued glances, curiosity overtaking doubt. Could the heart of a dog really spark a miracle? Over the next days, Ethan's progress astonished everyone. Each morning, Milo waited at the hospital door, ears pricked, tail swaying. When nurses allowed him in, he rushed to Ethan's side, then sat quietly, eyes locked on the baby. As Ethan's movements grew, a deliberate flex of his fingers here, a stronger kick there, Milo responded with soft barks and encouraging nudges. Emma and James spent every hour beside them, watching milestones that had once felt impossible. Was this the bond that defied medical understanding? During a therapy session, a soft toy lay just beyond Ethan's reach. The therapist guided his tiny hand. Still, Ethan hesitated. But then Milo stepped forward, gently nudging the toy closer with his paw. He sat patiently, as if saying, "You can do this." Spurred by Milo's faith, Ethan reached out, wrapping his fingers around the toy. Emma's sob of joy filled the room, and the therapist smiled through tears. "Incredible," she whispered. Could encouragement be the key to unlocking Ethan's strength? Weeks passed in a blur of healing. Ethan graduated from weak twitches to purposeful grasps. One afternoon, he sat upright for the first time on the playpen floor, Milo positioned firmly at his side. Sunlight streamed through the window, painting stripes of gold across the room. Ethan's small hand brushed Milo's soft coat, and the dog leaned in, pressing his nose to the baby's palm. The simple touch spoke volumes: loyalty, love, hope. Emma knelt beside them, brushing her fingers through Milo's fur. "You never gave up?" she whispered. Milo looked up with wise, gentle eyes, as though to say, and neither did he. Was this not the truest kind of medicine? At Ethan's final checkup, Dr. Reynolds admitted defeat to logic. "Immediately, I have no explanation," he said softly, "but the results are undeniable." Emma smiled through tears as James gathered Milo in a warm hug. The trio stood together, baby, dog, parents, a testament to love's power. Dr. Patel placed a gentle hand on Emma's shoulder. "Sometimes science meets its match in something deeper," she conceded. Could any formula quantify devotion? Months after that sleepless night, life at the Parker home blossomed anew. Ethan played on a soft rug, bathed in afternoon sun, while Milo lay protectively beside him, ever watchful. Emma caught the scene from the doorway, her heart full. "Not all miracles wear white coats," she said to James. "Some come with 4 paws and a wagging tail." James nodded, lifting Ethan to his shoulder. As Ethan giggled at Milo's playful bark, Emma whispered to her son, "You and Milo taught us what really matters. Would the world ever forget this lesson? Sometimes the greatest recoveries don't begin in hospitals or labs, but in the silent understanding between creatures who love without question." Ethan's journey from stillness to movement wasn't just medical. It was a story of unwavering faith, miraculous timing, and a dog who refused to lose hope. If this story touched your heart, share it and celebrate the extraordinary bond between humans and their loyal companions. And remember, miracles often come on 4 paws and in soft, soulful eyes that never give up. What miracle will you believe in next?